Yes, my wedding day, the moment you've all been waiting on. And I can honestly say a time was had by all. But before you see that, I think we need to start at the beginning.
The vibe is here, come kick it with me.
Okay, so boom, let's talk about the venue because girl, we got married at a brewery. That's right, a brewery. And listen, before you come for me, just hear me out because once you see what my family did with that space, you are going to understand completely why we went this way. I mean, we went this way because we didn't have any money. And if 1 + 1 is 2 and 2 + 2 is 4, you get it. The math wasn't mathing. So we had to pick what we had. Okay. So listen, my family got in there before anyone else arrived and they just transformed it. Like we walked in and our jaws were on the floor because it went from just some basic bar to something beautiful and elegant. And I just can't believe how our family showed up for us in the biggest way. And we will always be forever grateful for that. It's the morning of my wedding. It's been a roller coaster, to say the least, but I'm going to do my best to make today the best day possible. So let's see how today goes. Right now I got to go to the Publix to get some flowers for the bouquet. So let's do it. So I got a quote for like, I forget how many hundreds of dollars, like 800, 900, it was like close to $1,000 to do 6 bouquets. I just went to Publix. I only spent $92 on all of my flowers for myself and all my bridesmaids. And I'm gonna do it myself because why not? So here's the deal. The budget was already in danger. And I mean, it was being stretched in every direction, okay? Hiring a photographer to take my photos for the bridal party, it just wasn't in the cards. It wasn't happening. So I did what I always do. I figured it out. I pulled out one of my cameras, I got everybody information, and went to work. People had things to say about it. They laughed at me, thought I was being extra, crazy. But you know what? I had a vision. And when you have a vision and limited resources, you don't sit down and cry about it. I mean, I wanted to, but you don't do that. You put on your dress, you grab your Publix bouquets, and you make it happen. And if I do say so myself, the photos came out beautifully. Sometimes you just have to bet on yourself, even on your wedding day. Actually, especially on your wedding day. And finally, it was time to get dressed. And I want to be honest with you about what that moment felt like, because it wasn't just getting ready. It was everything leading up to that moment all at once. My divorce, the trauma with that, the rebuilding, the trials Garrett and I were already facing. It was everything. All of it was sitting right there on my chest. But I made a decision that morning that I was going to put it on the shelf just for today because we had fought for this moment. We had earned this moment, and I was not going to let anything, not the past, not the stress, not the drama from before, not the weight of everything we've been carrying, none of it, nothing was going to take this day from us. We deserved a good day, and that's exactly what we were going to have. Can I say something real quick? I did not have a wedding planner. I did not have a coordinator. I did not have someone whose job it was to make sure everything was in the right place at the right time. That person was me. And while I was supposed to be getting ready and being a bride, I was also answering texts, making sure the venue was set up, checking on the catering, coordinating who needed to be where and when, all the things on my wedding day. And I want to say all of this not for sympathy, but just to say, if you were planning a wedding on a budget and doing it yourself, I see you. We see each other, okay? It is a lot. It is so much. And no one really talks about how much invisible work goes into a day that looks effortless from the outside. But you know what? We figured it out like we always do. And in a few hours, I was going to be standing in front of everyone I love, and none of the logistics were going to matter anymore.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome. On behalf of Garrett and Leah, thank you all for being here today to celebrate with them.
The title of this poem is The Art of Marriage. The courtship should not end with the honeymoon. It should continue through all the years.
It's forming a circle of love that gathers in the whole family, not expecting the husband to wear a halo, nor the wife to have the wings of an angel.
Garrett and Leah would like to take a moment to remember the loved ones who are not physically present with us today. We remember Garrett's beloved Oma and Opa, whose love, wisdom, and devotion to family helped shape the man that Garrett is today. We also acknowledge Leah's grandfather, John Thomas. And we especially remember Leah's uncle, Fred. Fred was there when Leah entered this world, and she was there with him in his final moments. Today is truly a celebration. Garrett and Leah have already chosen one another. Garrett, go and receive your bride.
Come on, don't be shy. We already done this all together. I vow to you that I would always be here to be strength for you, to be strong for you, and to help uplift you. And I hope that so far I've been able to do that. Because even in the 4 months that we've been married, I've seen you continue to flourish and to grow and to become just better in ways that I think maybe you didn't even expect, but I never doubted because I know who you are. We bought our house right before we got married, and I told you that we were going to continue to build that house. There's literal structure, of course, because it needs a lot of work. But more important than that, there's the house that's really our family and our marriage, and being a good husband and continuing to learn how to love you, especially as we encounter new situations. And in that time, I know you and I have been in predicaments that are not uncommon or foreign to married couples, but to us was new. And I know that while nothing is ever perfect, I would like to say that we've handled that amazingly because of the bond that we have, because of the connection that we have, and because of that commitment to each other.
I'm sorry.
That's right. I know that faith is something that's paramount to all of us. It's important that we grow in our own faith, and as your husband and as the head of our household, I wanted to make sure that I was continuing to build your faith in God and to help you stay on that path, to being a holy person that I know that you are. I know in that time we've spent time together trying to study scripture more, to attend service more. And even just finding time to have prayers, not just in the extreme situations, not just when there's heartache and despair, but to even just take a moment to pray for just a really good day. Because in these past 4 months, and even in this past week where I've had all of our families together, I know I've been blessed, but I've never truly understood how blessed I have been. Because you've been the best blessing in my life.
No.
And whether we're in the best of times, which I hope we're always in the best of times, but whether we're in the best of times, or chaotic times, or even those days where it's just boring, neutral, day to day, there's nobody I'd rather have with me than you, because you are the blessing that I needed in my life.
Oh.
And I know, like I said, we only married 4 months. I'm sure 10 years from now we can have a whole book about all the things that could be better, but I just know that in my heart, if these 4 months are any indication of what the rest of our lives are, then this is the best decision of my life.
Oh.
And I love you.
Love you. Thanks.
let's switch.
All right.
I will say that my bridal party, they are aware that it is required for them to shed tears if they want to eat. I'm going to extend the same invitation to you all. If you want an entree, Garrett, you are my best friend. Oh, I also should say I stole these from your first vows. This isn't original, but here we go. You're my best friend, and I don't say that lightly. I say it because it's the truest thing I know about you and I. Before you were even my partner, you were the person I wanted to tell everything to. The person I laughed with the most, that I leaned on, that I continue to choose over and over again. Even before I fully understood what choosing you was, that was really the most important decision of my life. The first time I knew you were the one for me, it wasn't a grand moment. It was the quiet, consistent way that you showed up for me. And the way that no matter what nonsense that life has thrown us, which it has, we've always had each other's back through everything. And that's never wavered. And that's probably the one thing I value about you most. As you've kind of mentioned in front of everybody here, the last several months have not been easy. We've walked through so many storms together that some people know about, but there are some that nobody knows but you and I. And we're still here. We're still rocking it.
That's right.
We're still doing it, right?
Yeah.
And that's not luck. That is because the two of us, we're committed to something bigger than just the hard days. And I vow to keep weathering every storm with you for the rest of my life. I vow to be your biggest supporter, your #1 fan in everything that you do, and every version of you that you become. I will be in your corner with my whole heart, loudly, proudly, and without reservation. I vow to be rooted in faith with you, to build a home grounded in God's grace, and to trust the same hand that carried us through our hardest seasons that will continue to lead us forward together. And because I believe love also lives in the honest, imperfect, everyday moments, I promise to never make you feel alone. I promise to always be the person who has your back when the world feels heavy. I promise to build a family with you and to grow into the life we have always talked about together. And of course, I promise to love you even when you fall asleep within 30 seconds of sitting down. Every single time. You do that every time. We barely have conversations. That's okay. But you're my person, and I choose you today, I choose you tomorrow, and I will choose you every day of my life, and I love you.
Just like that, we were married. Well, we were, married again. But we did it. We finally did it in front of our people with all the witnesses, the whole shebang. No more of the elopement, no more just he and I. We did it for real this time, and honestly, I still can't believe we pulled this off. While our guests were out there enjoying the cocktail hour, we were kind of running around, taking family photos, and honestly just trying to catch our breath for a second. Because when you plan your own wedding, direct your own bridal photos, make your own bouquets, and somehow pull the whole thing off, yeah, you're gonna need 5 minutes to just stand there and go, girl, did I just do that? Because I did. I mean, with help, of course. So all there's left to do now is party, right?
Whoa! Come on, hey! Here we go! Turn the music up! Bring it back!
Now we have to get into this reception because, girl, our DJ absolutely showed out. Like, I'm talking, he had everybody on their feet the entire night. He was going around to tables doing karaoke, pulling people in, keeping the energy going. It was exactly the kind of party I always dreamed of having. Well, with the exception of having people dancing on tables and twerking on the wall. That was a request that I did ask of my guests, and unfortunately, nobody did do it, but I did throw a little something back, just to try and encourage the masses, but it didn't come to pass. But that's okay. That's okay. It was still a vibe, and we had an amazing time. And honestly, I really just want to take a second to say thank you. Say thank you to my family, to my friends who showed up, those who traveled from near and far, who helped decorate a brewery and made it beautiful, those who loved us through all the chaos, the stress, and the DIY of everything. I could not have done any of this without you. You are the reason this day was what it was. And to my internet family, thank you for being on this ride with me, for watching, for commenting, for showing up every day. This journey has meant more to me than I even know how to express to you. Now, if there's one thing I want you to take away from this episode, it's this. Don't be afraid to give love another chance. Don't be afraid to start over. And do not, I repeat, do not be afraid to DIY your whole wedding if you have to. Because making my bouquets from Publix, well, with the help of Ellen and Joe, my besties, directing my own bridal party photos, getting married in a brewery that my family decorated, it honestly was one of the most beautiful days of my life. You don't need a big budget to have a big love. And if you're scared to try again, just know that I see you. I was you, but look at me now. Next time on Life in LiaLand,